Hey, what's up? I'm back from vacation. I've tried to record this video like 3 times today or something, and I don't know if it's because I'm like jet lagged and my brain isn't functioning properly, or like if this is just a particularly difficult video to talk about because there's so many things that I want to talk about. But like I was like, because I normally like play like while I'm talking. So I like started doing some stuff, but I haven't really done anything. I tried to make a house. It didn't look good. I did some mining, smelted some stuff, but yeah, I didn't really do much. So none of y'all missed anything. Um, but yeah, back from vacation. It's good to be back and recording videos again. Um, and this is a video that I think is kind of long over, or not long overdue, but I feel like it was like an inevitable video to make, um, just because I think it's a hot topic that I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to, because I think we will all have relationships at some point in our life, um, whether you think you will or not. Uh, you are not going to be alone for the rest of your life. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk about it. I I initially was recording and I realized I was just like rambling way too much, without like a more concrete outline for me to follow. So I went ahead and beefed up the little outline that I had. So hopefully I have like coherent thoughts coming out of my mouth now instead of just like autopilot nonsense. And hopefully I can actually try and build something that resembles a house in this video. Um, and I'm gonna be trying to do that at the same time, so I don't know how well that's gonna go, but we're gonna we're gonna make it work, I think. Um, but yeah, so I guess okay. First of all, actually, thanks to Sturm Tiger Go Boom for the comment about this on like the last video. Appreciate you. If you want to suggest like video ideas or like even like new video like format ideas, I was thinking of like doing a thing where I like have a Google form or something at the bottom of the or in the description, like y'all like ask questions and I answer them and I become like your therapist or something. I think that could be like a fun slash funny one to do. I'm out of wood. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. Feel free to comment whatever. I realize that this topic can probably be pretty subjective, so I would love to hear your guys' perspectives on it. I try to read all the comments, so yeah. Subscribe, like if you enjoy the video, all that good stuff. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I think I should start talking, or I should start this video by talking about my own sort of experiences. I don't want to divulge, too much of my personal life online, because I like to keep my personal life, like my IRL personal life, and my online presence somewhat separate. Right? I'm gonna try and talk about some stuff, as much as I'm comfortable with, but realize that I'm just a dude online. I'm not trying to expose too much info right now. Maybe I'll talk more about it in future videos and get more personal with my own life. But yeah, as of right now, I want to just kind of focus on relationships broadly. But yeah, my own experience with relationships, I've been in a relationship before. I've been in what I feel like is a fairly long-term relationship. Currently not in one, but I will talk about that later too, about what that's like. And I've been through a lot of experiences, good and bad, and that's why I feel like I have some stuff to talk about. And I recognize that, again, this is a subjective topic. Everyone has their own experiences. Therefore, you shouldn't take anything I say in this video as like actual advice. Oh, I was like, why are there torches there? But I realized I went mining earlier when I tried to record for like the second time. But yeah, so don't take this as advice, but I hope you can learn some stuff. I feel like the stuff I'm gonna say in this video probably isn't like the first time you've heard someone say this, so I don't think any of it should be surprising. But I feel like with something like relationships, I feel like it's always worth hearing things multiple times to really get it into your head and drive these points home. So yeah, and then also like this is coming from the perspective of a guy in his 20s, right? And I realized that not everyone watching my video is in their 20s or is a guy. based on the analytics, there are a small portion of women that watch my video. So if you identify as one of those, like it's like a 10% or something, you know, shout out to you guys. Take what I have to say with a grain of salt, but I'd also be very, very curious to hear about your own opinions on the things I talk about in the comments or something, because I think having different opinions about something as important as relationships is very, very valuable. So don't be embarrassed or shy to comment stuff. I don't know. I don't know if people like actually watch this far into the video, but yeah. I'm gonna do like a lifted up house sort of thing here, I think. But yeah, I'll just start talking, because otherwise this video is gonna drag on like the previous attempts that I tried to do. So I need to sleep actually, and I think I need to cover this bed up or else monsters are gonna spawn, and that would not be good. First thing I want to talk about, I originally had like a bunch of different talking points, and I realized I should probably condense it down. So, 2 things I want to talk about. I had 3 things at one point, but now I only have 2. So, what relationships do to an MF, right? That's the core point of this video. And I think one of the first things I want to talk about is that relationships, they teach you a lot. They teach you a lot about yourself. They teach you a lot about the world. They teach you a lot about other people. And, you know, I'm all for experiences that help you learn. And I think a lot of experiences that you'll have in your life fall into one of these categories, and I think you should strive to keep on learning, no matter what that experience is, because I think like continuous learning is the best way to improve yourself and become a more well-rounded, educated person. I think if you ever like find yourself like get to a point where you stop learning, I feel like you should consider why that is, and hopefully change that. So, specifically with relationships, I think you gain a lot of emotional intelligence, and you become very emotionally mature as a result. I know I made a video about working out and how, you know, it gives you like you know, you could like improve yourself physically and all that. I feel like relationships are kind of like the opposite of that, right? You improve yourself, like relationships help improve yourself emotionally. And obviously like things like school and stuff also do that, but I think relationships, specifically romantic relationships, which if you haven't kind of like assumed yet is what I'll be talking about in this video, I think they provide very valuable sort of knowledge that other things like, you know, school or like even relationships with like your friends and stuff, I feel like those don't quite hit the mark when it comes to learning things. So yeah, and one, I think like you gain that emotional maturity because like, you know, at its core, I think relationships like they require you to be like very cognizant of like another person's emotions, basically. You are essentially like handling another person's emotions, and that can be that's like it's a very difficult task to do, frankly. I feel like truly understanding someone else on a deep level like that, I feel like is a very difficult thing to do, because one, like there's like a responsibility of the other person to like communicate well and tell you about how they feel and stuff like that, but it also comes down to you ultimately to figure out like okay, there's this other person, what are their needs, how are they different than mine, and how can I accommodate for that person. And in a relationship, that is like one of the most important things. Like you need to learn how to you know, coexist and have this other person in your life. And you know, doing that, like you gain a lot of why are wood stairs, why do they take so long to break? Anyways, you gain a lot of emotional intelligence by going through that. Also, you get planks back. This version is so weird. Yeah. So, and then also another thing is you learn to make sacrifices, I think. Um, Making sacrifices is always difficult, right? Like the world, I don't know if the world would be nice, but like it'd be a lot easier to go about life if everything kind of was like catered to you, right? Like everything worked out in your favor and you didn't have to accommodate for anyone. Like you didn't have to, um, I don't know, you didn't have to like think about someone else's needs and all that stuff. But unfortunately, that's not the way our world works. And like when you're like you learn that through a lot of other means, obviously. But I think relationships are a very big learning lesson for a lot of people because you need to make sacrifices for whoever it is that is on the other side of that relationship, because their feelings are just as important as yours. And that is a challenge that you have to learn about. That's something I'm continuously learning about, and it's very important. And I think it's like probably the most important way to actually make a relationship work out. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna need a lot of wood. It's just gonna be me running back and forth in this video, I think. Um, so yeah, and I think you need to learn how to balance sacrifice, while also maintaining like your own sense of self, right? Like your own identity. Like you shouldn't sacrifice so much that you like you lose the concept of like who you are as a person, because that's also really bad. Like you shouldn't, like at the end of the day, this might sound selfish, but that's not where I'm trying to come at from this point of view. But like at the end of the day, you are your own person, and really like nothing should take priority over yourself. Like your own well-being, I feel like is the most important thing. I feel like to me that's not a hot take. Maybe like someone else could interpret that a little bit differently. Um, but to me, like yeah, like you as a person are the most important person in the world. You know, it's not gonna be someone else. No one else is gonna be as important as you are to yourself. Um, so part of being in a relationship is like you need to learn to look after yourself too, while also making sure that someone else is happy. And that's like that's frankly it's a difficult thing to do. And you know, it's often a reason why things don't work out, because one person thinks like, you know, one person thinks that they're not receiving enough from a different person, when maybe the other person thinks that they are doing enough or something like that. I don't know if that made sense. But it's like a game. It's like a big like push and pull game. You know, like there's a fine line you kind of have to walk, um, in a good relationship like that. Um, so yeah, that was like the first big point, was like I feel like relationships really teach you a lot about yourself and about other people. The other thing was, I think that relationships are a great way to like they give you a lot of experiences. Like being in a relationship itself, I think, is an experience. It's an experience in and of itself, right? Like it's a big life event. It's like a big important life event. It's a whole experience in itself. But I also think that other experiences in your life are also impacted by your relationship. Um, that sounds like very obvious, but just hear me out here. So, like there are a lot of things that that you can do on your own. You know, there are a lot of things that you don't like. Frankly, a lot of things you don't need another person to do with you. I'll give an example. Like, say you wanted to travel somewhere new, right? Like you wanted to go to I don't know. I'm not about exposed where I just was on vacation, but let's say you wanted to go to like I don't freaking know, man, like Japan or something, somewhere cool like that. Say you wanted to go to Japan. You can absolutely go to Japan by yourself. Like no one's stopping you from doing that, right? Like you can absolutely go solo travel. Honestly, I haven't really solo traveled myself, but I would love to do it. Like I think it'd be a really cool experience. Um, but yeah, like no one's stopping you from doing these things yourself, right? You want to go to Japan, just buy a plane ticket and fly there yourself. But I feel like it's also like very enriching to be able to do that with someone else, especially when it's someone else that you have a very strong emotional connection with, someone who like shares shares like that same interest with you. And I think like a relationship is very very enriching for that reason. Like you have the ability, or like you have someone to share these experiences with you. And I feel like sharing an experience is just as important as having the experience yourself. Um, and Yeah, and I think like a relationship, like you're gonna be with this person for like an extended period of time, and you are going to do things together, like as one, as a pair, you know. And I think that's like a really that's a like you should see that as like a very um that's like a very fun thing, right? And hopefully, like, you know, you and that other person are very compatible with each other, and that just makes everything better. So yeah, like making memories and stuff. And speaking of memories, one thought I had, um, again, without like giving away too much of my personal information and about my own personal relationships, I'll just kind of keep it general here. So like this was towards the end of last year, 2024. I was seeing someone. I was not in like a committed relationship or anything with them, but we were dating for a couple months, and things ended up not working out. It's fine, um, but we did a lot of stuff together, and one of those things was camping. She really liked to be outdoors and stuff, as do I. Um, and we like went out camping a couple times, and that was really fun, right? It was really really fun. And you know, if you're in a relationship, you're gonna have a lot of very fun, good experiences like that that are gonna result in a lot of good memories. And like one thing, you know, you hear about it all the time, right? Like I don't know, like if you and your ex like always listen to this one song or something on the radio, like that song's gonna be ruined for you now after you broke up, right? Like you hear about that stuff all the time. It makes sense. Like I get it. I've definitely gone through similar experiences before. Um, but I would urge you to like kind of not have those thoughts, obviously, because one, it's not good for you, right? Like it's not going to be good for your mental health. It's like if you genuinely like that song, like now you just can't listen to it. That sucks. But also, I think there's like there's something to be said about like not letting your good memories become bad. Maybe like listening to a favorite song or something is a little different, but I go back to my camping example, right? I was actually talking with my my parents about this, and I think it was my mom that brought this up. But she was saying like you shouldn't let what was a good memory become bad just because you're not with that person anymore. And I thought that was really that was like a really profound thing to hear. Um, because I don't think I really grew up like talking about my parents or talking with my parents about like my relationships and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know, my parents they've been married for a long freaking time. They probably should know something about relationships, right? I would assume so. So I've been like talking with them about that sort of stuff, and that point that my mom brought up, I think, was really, really like eye opening for me. It was like because you know, wherever we went camping, wherever we went camping with that person, um, like thinking about that place obviously brought back some like kind of tough memories, you know, like like this was a place where I went with a person that I really really liked that is no longer in my life. It sucks. It sucks, frankly. And I think most people would probably agree with me when I say that. Um, but the thing is, like at the time, those were good memories. Like in the moment, those were really good memories. And I'm very very happy that I had those memories. I'd actually like never really truly gone camping before, besides like going camping in my backyard when I was little. So that was like my first time camping, and it was genuinely like a really fun experience. Like I really like camping. I would love to go again at some point. Um, and you know I really like the outdoors and all that. Like it was a very good experience. I really liked it. And um, obviously felt strong emotions thinking back to that. So when my parents told me that, I was like, you know what? That's a very, very valid point. Um, like I shouldn't ruin that experience or that memory for myself. Like I'm not gonna like stop camping just because I camped for the first time with this person. Like if anything, I should like camping more now because I've actually done it and I've discovered that I genuinely like it. Um, so I think that's another thing I've learned recently. That's a little life lesson for me. Um, Something I'm trying to like internalize more, I guess, and really like drive home in my head. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I didn't talk about too much in this video, but it's gone on for a while now, so I don't want to drag this video on for too long. Maybe there'll be like a part two or something if I feel like there's enough to talk about. Um, but yeah, it was this was a very this video took longer to make than most of my other videos, to be completely honest, just because of how many takes I had to do. But I'm really happy I talked about this. I think there's a lot to be said about this topic, and I would um, love to make like a separate video, like a part two, like I said, if enough people feel like it would be valuable. So yeah, it's a very poetic ending. The music just kicked in. But yeah, gonna be back. Gonna be uploading regularly now. At least I will try to. Uh, Gonna try and do like at least one video a week. Probably like, hopefully like multiple videos a week. Because I like talking about this stuff. So it's fun to just come on YouTube and yap. So yeah. But with that said, thanks for watching. This has been What Relationships Do to an MF. Appreciate y'all and see you later. Have a good day.